The park was supposed to smell like freedom-charred meat, laughter, and second chances. Instead, it reeked of Karen's perfume and petty tyranny. Marcus Tate, a man who'd spent the last 6 months rebuilding his life after a fire stole his brother's face, stood over his barbecue grill, the smoke curling like a prayer for healing. Today was for Jamal, his brother, whose scars told a story no one in this small town seemed to care about. Marcus had spent weeks planning this fundraiser, rallying the community to support Jamal's recovery surgeries, therapy, a shot at feeling human again. The park was alive with neighbors, kids running through the grass, and music thumping from a borrowed speaker. But then she showed up. Enter Linda Grayson, the self-appointed queen of Willow Creek's Homeowners Association, a woman who wielded her clipboard like a scepter. Linda didn't live anywhere near the park, but she'd heard about the unauthorized gathering through her network of nosy informants. Her blonde bob was as sharp as her tongue, and her eyes gleamed with the kind of righteousness that could choke a saint. She stormed across the field, her heels sinking into the soft earth, and thrust her finger at Marcus. "You didn't file for a permit," she barked, loud enough for the whole park to hear. "This is a public nuisance, and I'm shutting it down." Marcus froze, tongs in hand, a slab of ribs dripping sauce onto the coals. The crowd hushed, sensing the storm brewing. "Lady, this is for my brother," he said, his voice low but steady. "He's a burn victim. We're raising money for his recovery." Linda's lips pursed, unimpressed. "Rules are rules, Mr. Tate. No permit, no barbecue. Pack it up." The crowd murmured, some stepping closer, phones out, filming. Marcus's jaw tightened. He wasn't just fighting for rib, she was fighting for Jamal, for dignity, for a community that was supposed to have his back. Enter Officer Daniel Harper, a rookie cop barely out of his 20s, who'd been called in by Linda's frantic 911 about a rowdy, illegal gathering. Daniel arrived, his cruiser's lights flashing, and immediately felt the weight of every eye in the park. He was new to Willow Creek, still learning the town's unspoken rules, and Linda's call had sounded urgent. But now, standing between Marcus's grill and Linda's clipboard, he felt like he'd walked into a trap. "Ma'am, sir, let's calm down," Daniel said, his voice wavering. Linda spun on him. "Officer, this man is breaking the law. I demand you shut this down now." Marcus's eyes locked on Daniel's, a silent plea. "Don't do this." The tension snapped like a taut wire. A woman from the crowd, Tamika, a nurse who'd known Marcus since high school, stepped forward, her voice cutting through the air. "Linda, you're out of line. This is for Jamal, not some backyard party." Linda scoffed, undeterred. "If we let one person break the rules, the whole town falls apart." The crowd erupted, some shouting support for Marcus, others echoing Linda's call for order. Daniel's hand hovered over his radio, torn between protocol and the gut feeling that this was all wrong. Marcus, his patience fraying, slammed the tongs down. "You want to shut this down? Over my dead body." The standoff escalated. Linda, sensing her authority slipping, dialed up her performance, claiming the smoke was a health hazard, and the music was disturbing the peace. She waved her clipboard, citing fake HOA bylaws that didn't even apply to public parks. Marcus's supporters grew louder, forming a loose circle around the grill, daring anyone to touch it. Tamika pulled out a flyer for the fundraiser, shoving it toward Daniel. "Read this, officer. This is about a man who almost died. Where's your heart?" Daniel's face flushed, his eyes darting between the flyer, Linda's scowl, and Marcus's unyielding stare. Then came the spark that lit the fuse. Linda, in a fit of indignation, grabbed a water bottle from a nearby table and doused the grill's coals, sending a hiss of steam into the air. The crowd gasped. Marcus lunged forward, not to fight but to save the food hours of work. Donations from people who barely had enough to give. "You're heartless!" he roared, his voice breaking. Linda stumbled back, clutching her pearls, and screamed for Daniel to arrest this man. Daniel hesitated, his hand on his cuffs. But the crowd's anger was palpable now, a wall of voices demanding justice. In that moment, the truth began to unravel. Tamika, live streaming the whole ordeal, zoomed in on the flyer, her voice shaking with fury. "This is for Jamal Tate, a man who lost everything in a fire, and this woman," she pointed at Linda, "is trying to ruin it." The video spread like wildfire across social media, hashtags like Justice for Jamal and Karen Takedown trending within minutes. Neighbors who'd been on the fence now turned on Linda, shouting her down. Daniel, finally reading the flyer, saw the words "Burn Victim Recovery Fund" and felt his stomach drop. He turned to Linda, his voice firm for the first time. "Ma'am, step back. This is a misunderstanding." But Linda wasn't done. She doubled down, claiming Marcus was intimidating her, playing the victim card with Oscar-worthy tears. The crowd wasn't buying it. A local reporter, tipped off by the viral video, arrived with a camera crew, thrusting a microphone in Linda's face. "Why are you targeting a charity event?" the reporter asked. Linda stammered, her facade crumbling under the spotlight. Marcus, exhausted but resolute, spoke directly to the camera. "This ain't about me. It's about my brother. It's about community. Don't let her kind of hate win." The climax came when Jamal himself arrived, wheeled in by his physical therapist. His face, still raw with scars, silenced the park. He didn't speak, didn't need to. His presence was a rebuke to Linda's cruelty, a living testament to what Marcus was fighting for. The crowd parted, letting Jamal reach his brother. Marcus knelt beside him, whispering something only they could hear. Linda, cornered by the truth, fled to her car, chased by boos and the reporter's relentless questions. But the victory was bittersweet. The barbecue was ruined, the food soaked, the grill cold. Donations poured in online after the video went viral, but Marcus felt no joy. He'd wanted this day to be about healing, not division. He looked at Jamal, who managed a weak smile, and felt the weight of a town that had almost failed them. Daniel, ashamed, approached Marcus later, apologizing. "I didn't know," he said. Marcus nodded, but his eyes were distant. "You didn't ask." As the sun set, the park emptied, leaving only the scent of damp coals and regret. The fundraiser raised thousands online, enough for Jamal's next surgery, but the cost was higher than money. Willow Creek was split. Some rallied behind Marcus. Others whispered that Linda was just enforcing the rules. The video lived on, a permanent scar on the town's conscience, exposing the fault lines of privilege, power, and prejudice. What do you think? Was Linda just a rule stickler, or did her actions cross into something uglier? Share your thoughts on where justice lies in this mess.